So what I want to talk to you guys about in today's video is something that we don't normally talk about here, but this video is very important for the people that really care, because this is about this is about Drew Dober, as you can tell by the title, but this is very specific what I'm about to say. Because if you are someone like me and is looking at people's records all the time, all these different fighters from all these different divisions, especially the lightweight division, you will notice somebody by the name of Drew Dober if you pay attention to the UFC. For starters, most of you probably haven't heard of him, or probably hadn't heard of him up until UFC 259, I believe it was, when he fought Islam Makhachev. Now, going into that fight with Islam Makhachev, he was an unranked fighter. Now, if you look on some sites like rankingsmma.com, he would have been somewhere within probably the rank number 16 to 25, somewhere in there. Going into that fight, I believe Islam Makhachev was number 11, right? So you have somebody like Drew Dober, who's got lots and lots of fight experience, coming in and fighting Islam Makhachev, who is a ranked guy. So already, this is great. This is what every fighter wants, to be able to fight a ranked fighter, which obviously what Drew Dober got in Islam Makhachev. Now, as many of you know, Drew Dober lost that fight in the third round via submission. But before that, which many of you probably do not know, is he was on a 3-fight win streak. And I'm looking at it here, and in order, all the way up until the Islam Makhachev fight, in 2019, he fought Marco Polo Reyes, knocked him out in the first round, 1 minute and 7 seconds in. In 2020, he knocked out Nasrat Haqparast in the first round, 1 minute and 10 seconds in. Again in 2020, he knocked out Alexander Hernandez in the second round. As a total on his record, he has 23 wins, 10 losses, 10 by knockout. Now, before the Marco Polo Reyes fight, he fought Beneil Dariush. He got submitted in the second round. But it's Beneil Dariush. We all know where he is now. I believe he's ranked number 3 in the world at the moment in the lightweight division. Before the Beneil Dariush fight, he was also on a 3-fight win streak. And in order all the way up into the Beneil Dariush fight, first round KO in 2017 against Josh Berkman. In 2018, it was a decision win against Frank Camacho, and then again 2018, it was a decision win over John Tuck. And even before the Josh Berkman fight, he lost against, Olivier Mercier in 2016 in the second round due to submission, but before that, he was on a 2-fight win streak. One of those was a KO, one of those was a decision. Now, the point that I'm really trying to make here about what is so important about this fight, you kind of have to look at his opponent, Brad Riddell. So, Brad Riddell, let's just switch over to him over here. He trained at City Kickboxing in New Zealand under coach Eugene Behrman, and one of Brad Riddell's teammates just happens to be Alexander Volkanovski, the current featherweight champion, and Israel Adesanya. Now, obviously, Israel Adesanya, as many of you probably know, the current middleweight champion, who will also be fighting tomorrow. Brad Riddell is on currently a 6-fight win streak, which is very impressive. Now, bear in mind only 2 of those wins are by TKO, both in the first round. But that being said, 6-fight win streak. Yes, Brad Riddell is not a ranked fighter, but the UFC, Dana White, Hunter Campbell, they believed in Brad Riddell so much that back all the way in March at Kevin Holland versus Derek Brunson, that they had Brad Riddell facing Gregor Gillespie, a ranked opponent, for the co-main event. That's big. That means, okay, hey Brad Riddell, we believe in you. We believe in you. We're going to put our faith, our stock in you. Being a co-main event, you can't suck and be a co-main event, right? You have to either be, you got to be one of two things. You got to be like a Nate Diaz style draw, or you have to be a high-ranked fighter, right? It's co-main events are never just, people that suck, at least to the best of my knowledge. Now, yes, go back to what I said. Drew Dober is ranked, Brad Riddell is not. But if Drew Dober, who, to be honest with you, is only ranked because some people retired, some people left, some people got actually taken off the rankings. Al Iaquinta got taken off. Charles Oliveira moved up to champion. Paul Felder left. Some bunch of people got moved in. If Drew Dober can beat somebody who is on a 6-fight win streak, that shows, okay, this guy is legit. People already knew he was legit before, but he was legit in the unranked version. Unranked Drew Dober is legit. Ranked Drew Dober technically isn't. And I know that sounds weird. I know that sounds crazy, but he is technically... People want to see him as a serious contender. And yes, Brad Riddell is not ranked, but he's on a 6-fight win streak. Ranked or not ranked, defeated or undefeated, somebody who's on a 6-fight win streak is legitimate. Before that, Brad Riddell, he had one loss. It was a submission. And before that, he was on a 3-fight win streak. So what I'm trying to say here is all of this, this is all very important for Drew Dober. If he can beat somebody who's on a 6-fight win streak, then people will be like, okay, this guy's legit. And to go back to what I was saying, actually, I probably should have finished it more. If he can beat somebody who's on a 6-fight win streak, somebody like Brad Riddell, trains under Eugene Behrman and is teammates with 2 world champions at the moment, 2 very dominant world champions. If Drew Dober can beat that person, now people are going to be like, okay, now this guy's a serious contender. It does not matter. What I'm trying to say is it does not matter that Brad Riddell is unranked. It matters if Drew Dober can get the win on somebody who is so dominant. He's undefeated in the UFC. Anyways, you guys can see what I'm saying here, that everything is there's a lot riding. Not everything, but there is a lot riding. Drew Dober is turning 33 this year. He's not getting any younger. None of us are, but Drew Dober's not getting any younger. He's going to start, next year he's 34, then 35, then 36. Like he's just going to get older and older, right? And the chances of him becoming a UFC champion get smaller and smaller. He has been in the UFC since 2013. He was on The Ultimate Fighter, Team Rousey versus Team Tate. Hopefully you guys can see what I'm saying. Yes, I know I was kind of all over the place in some parts, but I'm a Drew Dober fan, and there's a lot riding on this. If he has enough faith, people have enough faith in this guy to be like, okay, well, let's put him against Islam Makhachev, somebody who was ranked, then he's legit. He's legit. The 3 fights before that were all KO wins, either in the first round, or early in the first round, or late in the second round. He knocked out 3 highly touted prospects with maybe not Marco Polo Reyes, not so much of a highly touted prospect, but Nasrat Haqparast, who's a KO artist himself, and Alexander Hernandez, who for a while has been, and not so much anymore, but has been such a highly touted prospect. If he can knock out these guys, Drew Dober is someone that, you know, people need to pay more attention to, and they haven't been. So again, if he can have the same sort of performance that he has had on Nasrat hack press, Alexander Hernandez, and Marco Polo Reyes, and a bunch of these other guys, if he can have that tomorrow against 6-fight winning streak Brad Riddell, if he can do that, people are going to start going like, okay, you know what? This guy isn't just a guy who is now a ranked fighter because some people left the division. You know, got stripped of their ranking. He moved in when Ally Quinta got stripped of his ranking. You know, this is important. There's a lot riding on this win for Drew Dober, and you know what? I hope you guys can understand what I'm saying. I know I've been all over the place, but this is just, I've been thinking about this for a while, and for a while, as in the last couple days, and I hope to make more of these videos in the future, kind of these just topic sort of videos. Anyways, I'm going to finish recording this. I'm going to go home, and UFC 263 tomorrow. Tell me what you guys think. Goodbye.